Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Thursday, August 25th. And the headlines for today is going to be a chance of showers and thunderstorms, especially over the southern half of lower Michigan. Now, the WPC predicts no precipitation over the next 48 hours from around Lansing to the north. That's not going to be the case. In fact, it's already raining as you get towards Muskegon across Lake Michigan. And those storms are heading for mid-Michigan here over the next couple of hours. So places like Newaygo, Middleton, and Breckenridge, Henderson, Lansing will pick up on the rainfall here this morning, and some areas could get a good quarter of an inch or so out of that, as there are some thunderstorms in it too. And again, over the next couple of weeks, we should be warm and wet. In fact, we could even have a 90-degree day as we get towards the end of this next week, as we do see a pretty warm pattern set up over much of the eastern third of the U.S. As far as our normals, the normal high today is 79, and normal low is 56. And 1 year ago, we had a high of 61, a cool high of 61, and a low of 54. If we look at the conditions around the area yesterday, temperatures mainly in the upper 70s to low and even mid 80s. And again, precipitation was a little bit more scattered in nature. There were certainly some heavy pockets of rain across central and western lower Michigan, but the heavier rainfall organized a little bit better once you got to the east. About a tenth of an inch at Brown City, but 5,600 at Marlette. Almost an inch at London, 54 and 5300s for Tupperville and St. Thomas. And again, these areas are going to get quite a bit more rain. And again, when I forecast at a half inch to 3/4 an inch, I like to see at least half of our stations do that. So we're going to need a little help across southeast lower Michigan, maybe Brown City and Lansing to get those numbers up. But I think that's very possible. If we look at the big story over the next week or so, is going to be a potential significant hurricane that could affect Florida and some of the Gulf states, and we'll continue to follow this over the next couple of days. This morning, you can see that area of low pressure. Hurricane Hunter is out there currently, and they should have a report coming online anytime. But right now, it's currently located just to the north of Hispaniola, and it's going to move to the northeast and again, or northwest rather, over the next couple of days, and it's going to really intensify late this weekend as it gets towards the Bahamas, and then it's going to begin to curve back to the west, and it could affect places like Florida. If we look at the spaghetti plot of some of these tracks, and you can see many of them are taking it out in towards the Gulf over southern tip of Florida. And again, if that happens, we could see a lot of problems for areas like Fort Lauderdale, down to Miami and Dade County areas, and all the way up to the East Coast. Again, the strongest part of the hurricane is on the northeast quadrant. So again, if that tracks to your south, you can expect some pretty rough weather. I would expect we could see potential Category 2 when it comes across the Florida area. And the big fear is if it stays just offshore, it could intensify to a Cat 3 or a Cat 4 out into the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. And it could weaken a little bit. There is some cooler water as you get towards Louisiana and eastern Texas. But again, all those areas need to watch closely. And then this is the latest spaghetti plot, which really would put parts of Florida under a lot of problems. And again, you can see if it even areas like northern Florida down towards Orlando, anywhere along the east coast of Florida, really want to keep an eye on this. And again, the big fear is as it moves across southern Florida and reemerges into the Gulf, where it would again rapidly intensify. And if we look at the current conditions across the area this morning closer to home, you can see it pretty muggy conditions out there, upper 60s to low 70, dew points around 70. So again, very sticky, and we got rain and thunderstorms moving into the area today. You can see our rain versus normal, quite wet here for August, and we're going to add to these totals over the next day or so. And then we got more rain maybe coming in for the weekend. Right now it doesn't look like a lot, but something we'll keep an eye on. As far as soil conditions, you can see warm temperatures at both the 2, 8, and 16-inch levels, along with very moist conditions at all of our locations. And if we look at the satellite this morning, you can see these colder cloud tops, some storms developing to our southwest, and you can see right here on the northern fringe, you got some development around the central Lake Michigan, south central Lake Michigan, or towards Muskegon, and it's going to be moving into areas like Newaygo, Middleton, Breckenridge, Henderson, and Lansing over the next couple of hours. So the WPC forecast of no rain today is certainly not going to verify. And you can see some of these showers and thunderstorms moving, heading towards the central Michigan area. And again, I think many areas from around Mount Pleasant south have a chance at picking up maybe even a quarter inch or more in some of the heavier storms. If we look at the forecast map for today, you can see a cold front that's going to be slicing through the area. Could be some severe storms across southeast lower Michigan. Places like Blissfield and Jasper over towards Tupperville and St. Thomas will need to keep an eye into the sky. If we look at the forecast map for Friday, you can see that front will be off to the east, and we should have a nice day on Friday. And much of Saturday could start out pretty nice as well before a chance of showers and thunderstorms as this system moves to the northeast. And you can see that on Saturday morning's map, and that's going to push a little bit of moisture this way. Right now it looks like about a quarter to a half inch for that period for Saturday into Sunday. And you can see the chances of severe storms across southeast lower Michigan, marginal risk up to about the Marlette area, back towards Lansing, St. John's, and then back towards Kalamazoo in that area. If we look at the precipitation, again, from the WPC over the next 48 hours, no precipitation from Lansing north. Again, that's not going to be right. And if we look at the forecast over the next 7 days, obviously these areas are going to be a little higher totals because of the unexpected rain this morning. And again, the best chance will be across southeast lower Michigan over towards places like Cedar Point and up into New England. And if we look at the extended outlook for the 6 and the 8 to 10 day outlook, you can see we're going to be warmer than normal, 8 to 14. Again, quite a bit of warmth across the eastern U.S. And as far as precipitation with that warmth and Gulf moisture coming up into the area, we expect it to be above normal precipitation here right on through the next couple of weeks. So a very summer-like pattern coming up. Thanks for stopping by and have yourself a great day, and 73s to all.